when it comes to cleanses, there's one in particular that I recommend everybody do because it has such a prominent effect on your brain, how you think, and what you crave. And that is a parasite cleanse. Everyone carries parasites within them. It's very similar to bacteria, viruses, and funguses. They live inside us, and it's important that we maintain a regimen that allows us to stay ahead of an overgrowth. Just like weeding your yard outside. If you don't do it, it'll become overgrown and it will become more of a pain to deal with. And for most of us, especially living in the United States, we are not taught about the importance of deworming our body. And when I first started my parasite cleanse journey, I was amazed at the results that I saw. I saw that my cravings decreased by 50% just after the first month of doing it. I felt better. My bloating went down. It pretty much just went away, which was crazy to me. And I also saw that emotionally, I was more aligned with what felt to be my true nature, because parasites will affect your emotions. They also will affect what you crave. And so in doing these parasite cleanses, you are really taking ownership of your body once again. And there are many different parasite cleanse regimens that you can do. I will be sharing with you what I did at the very beginning and why I think it is important to do it this way. But this is just information. I'm not a doctor. Please always do your research before you begin doing any type of cleanse or adding in something new into your regimen. And I did research before I started my parasite cleanse journey. I knew that I wanted to get to a liver cleanse. In doing my research, I realized that I needed to clear out all of my drainage pathways, which included, and you work backwards. The colon is the first one you address, then the large intestine, then the small intestine, then the gallbladder, and then the liver. And for me, I thought, well, how can I kill two birds with one stone? And I incorporated my parasite cleanse regimen in conjunction with my drainage pathway cleanse. And I did this over the span of 3 months or 90 days. And this is really crucial because parasites, when they know they are under attack, they will either hide themselves in different areas of the body or they will lay eggs as a way to keep their species going inside your body. And so doing it for 90 days really allows you to cleanse and clear all of that out. And so the first 30 days I took herbs. I did research on all the different organs and what herbs would support them in cleansing and clearing them. And then I found those herbs and I would make teas. And then I would add them into my food. But a lot of it was teas, a lot of it was herbs. So I would drink these teas in conjunction with taking mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica turns into a gelatinous substance inside your stomach, which entraps and ensnares the parasites. And I had learned about this while I was learning about parasite cleanses. And for me, this is the one that I wanted to use because it was affordable for me at the time. And I wanted to really get to know the different drainage pathways, the different herbs, and see how my body would react to it. And so what I did in those 90 days is I started off very slowly, because what I found was I got very backed up in the beginning. It was very intense on my body. And because we were just coming out of COVID, I was starting work again. So I wanted to be functional for work. I didn't want it to take me out because I understood that parasites release toxins when they die, which puts an extra taxation on your body. And so while I was doing these cleanses, I was taking Epsom salt baths and I was doing bentonite clay masks to help pull out the toxins that were being released out of my body into the lymphatic system so that I wouldn't experience herpes, though I definitely did. I was very tired in the beginning and moody, but I believe this was in part to what the parasites were feeling, which was then being mirrored in myself, because they are part, most of them were housed in the gut, and I was working on the gut. This has a direct connection to the mind body through the gut brain axis. And I also believe that those areas of my body were holding on to suppressed emotions. The body will hold on to things that we cannot process. And as I've gone through my journey, I have realized that your body can hold memory from generations past. It also can tap into energies from the collective. And I believe that's becoming more and more prominent as we become more interconnected through technology. Though when it came to parasite cleanses, I experienced big emotional upheavals in regards to trauma that happened to the native part of me and the genocide that came up, and it was very intense. So I took those first few weeks very slowly so my body could adjust, so I could mentally adjust, and so that I would be able to still be present in my waking life. When I say waking life, my work, being out in public, and then I could go home and process and be and let it all out. And what I found was when you are going through parasite cleanses, you are going to crave food. That is what the parasites are craving. And instead of getting down on myself, I actually learned very quickly that I could use it to my advantage. And I call this going fishing. So what happens is you starve out those bugs by eating healthy, and then you give into that craving. But what you want to do is you want to take the mimosa pudica when you eat, because that gelatinous substance will then catch all the parasites that are coming out to have a feeding frenzy. And every time I did that, I saw myself pooping out worms. And I also had big emotional releases. Though I will say, you may not always see parasites. 70% of parasites are not visible to the human eye without a microscope. And what a lot of people perceive to be parasites is actually intestinal plaque that is coming out due to the mimosa pudica pulling it out. And in conjunction with the herbs, I saw a lot of that until the 90-day point. It actually started to subside, and I noticed that I just felt better. My bloating went down. Again, my cravings went down 50%. So I was really able to implement a new diet and a new regimen. I didn't crave the sugars that I was craving. I didn't crave crap food. My cravings for alcohol went down. It was quite amazing. And I saw these cravings start to dissipate after the 30 days. And I really saw the benefits at the 90-day point, because when it comes to parasite cleanses, is the one that I learned from is their regimen is all around the full moon, because parasites are activated more during that time, which I believe is why a lot of people go a little bit cuckoo crazy during the full moon, is because of these parasites. They bring up big emotions. They bring up big cravings, which can lead people to drinking excessively. And, there's that little spiral effect. So what you're supposed to do, or what I was taught with this regimen, is you are supposed to build up to taking 14 mimosa pudica seed capsules on the full moon. And by the end of the 90 days, I was able to do that. And my 90 days synchronistically ended on a full moon without me even realizing it. It was just very serendipitous. But I slowly built up to that point. In the beginning, I was only taking the Mimosa Paducah when I felt my body could handle it. And also, I was very backed up in the beginning. I did not have a binder that I was taking, which I would definitely recommend doing. I'm going to link the binder that I've used in all my other cleanses in this video, along with the Mimosa Paducah that I use, if you'd like to get that. I will also link the bentonite clay that I used and the Epsom salt, because that is one way to support your body when you're detoxing. And also this is stuff that you can use in any other cleanse. Supporting the detoxification process is what will get you through it a lot quicker and with greater ease without those Herkimer experiences. And that's when your body goes into a quick inflammation response due to an excess of toxins being released into the body. And what I do now, because it's been 5 years since I started, and I do cleanses annually for my body just to keep everything flowing, because we're constantly taking in toxins. And with parasites, I know I'm in constant contact because I'll walk barefoot. I like sushi. I also have a cat. So what I do now is every full moon, I will scan my body and scan the pathogens and emotions and do a full cleanse, and I will connect that healing into my cat. This is all a part of the emotion and pathogen magnetic healing course that I have available. And I do this monthly just because I know everything's heightened during the full moons. Sometimes parasites come up, sometimes they don't. In that course, I teach you how to scan your body so you know what frequencies to listen to. And this is all based off of the biomagnetism training that I took in 2021. And it's something that I do regularly because I believe in energy healing, especially this biomagnetism. It's something that really brought everything together. But I will do a physical parasite cleanse once a year. I found that in the second year of me doing parasite cleanses, I was doing them like 3 times a year, and my body wasn't liking it. It was not enjoying it like it did in the beginning. I also wasn't seeing the things come out of me that did the first round. And so I changed my regiment because I believe I was being called to move towards the energy healing side of things, because I think that is equally as important as doing the physical. And in another video, I will talk about energetic parasites and how you can cleanse and clear those, and why cleansing the energy centers are super crucial just for overall balance, and is a great way to support you physically as well. We are energetic beings having a physical experience, in my personal humble opinion. So that I will do that monthly, those energy clearings that deal with pathogens and emotions. And then I will do an annual cleanse with the Mimosa Paducah and gear up for a full moon cleanse. And I do that in conjunction with the traditional Chinese medicine seasons, because there are 5 different seasons that connect into one main meridian. And each of those meridians is ruled or connected into an organ. And what I found was, in working with those energies, those cyclical, seasonal energies, my body actually, without even knowing it, naturally was calling to have those cleanses during those times. So now that I'm consciously aware of it, I can plan. I know what supplements to take. I don't take supplements just yearly. I will change things up because I understand each season your body requires something different and something new. And yes, there are some products that I will take more regularly, but if you are working in conjunction with this energy, and each season has a recommended diet, I will adhere to that in conjunction with doing my energy clearings. And there's a whole energy clearing system where you can balance the polarized meridians, so you get deeper healing and create more balance for your body. This is another course that I offer. I have a few of them, but it's something that I have found very supportive when it comes to doing these cleanses. It also gives you a time frame of when to do it, because I feel like I'll see people just say, oh, I'm doing this cleanse. Oh, I'm doing this now. I'm doing it. We're not meant to do all of these cleanses all the time. So planning in accordance and also budgeting for the proper supplements that you may need is very beneficial. And I would recommend doing a parasite cleanse first, because parasites, again, will really alter your ability to stick to a new diet and regimen. They also will affect your mood, and they also hinder your immune system, because what happens is your immune system will attack the parasites, but it can't kill the parasites, which then allows bacteria and viruses to bypass your immune system and infiltrate your body. So getting rid of those parasites bolsters your immune system. It gets rid of bloating. It gets rid of like mental fog. It gets you more grounded in your body, and you just feel so empowered. I was in awe of how in control I felt. And that's coming from someone who is a neurodivergent, so sensitive. It just made such a big difference for me on my journey, especially since I was unmasking at the time. I recommend it for everybody, but for neurodivergence, absolutely, because if you cleanse the parasites in conjunction with the drainage pathways, when you release those toxins from your body, it takes off an energetic load that can really create a lot of disconnection within the brain, a lot of confusion, a lot of brain fog. And also it will help you heal that mind-body connection through the gut-brain axis. So it's something, if you're neurodivergent, 100% couldn't recommend it more. But I believe that a lot of people, I think anyone could benefit from it. In other countries, that's something that they look at first. And in America, they don't. And it's very interesting that they're finding a lot of things are actually tied to parasites now, more and more. An example for this is MS. There was a guy, I just heard this recently on the interwebs, that a doctor actually went in and looked at their patients after death, and they found that the plaque surrounding the nervous system, all of them had parasites. So that's just one example of how powerful this work can be, is when you constantly do it and you take ownership of your body and you become a steward of that. Again, just like a garden, if you don't take care of it, it's going to either die or become overgrown. And gardens, to me, are such a beautiful place of tranquility and peace if we tend to them. So doing a parasite cleanse and other cleanses, and in my other video, I talked about the drainage pathways and why that's important. That's crucial. Same with your lymphatic system and detoxing just your whole body. But the parasite cleanse, for me, is a great foundation, because you're clearing out almost like an additional chatter in your mind that will keep you stuck in toxic cycles. It allows you to take greater ownership. It allows you to feel more at home in your body. And for me, that was such a game changer. And it built a foundation for me that has served me since that time, because I did that 90-day cleanse in correlation with the drainage pathways. It set me up for success. And since that time, I haven't needed to do a 90-day cleanse, because I've been able to maintain my annual routines since that. And that was the goal. I'm like, I know the first year is going to be a bit intense, because we're starting from ground zero. And actually, I felt my body was more in debt. And I feel a lot of us are, unfortunately. So I wanted to share this just to give people inspiration that you can really help your body by doing cleanses, by detoxing. I just think people get overwhelmed because there's so much information. They don't know where to start. And that's why I wanted to create this video. So below, I will have everything linked. The Mimosa Paducah, the binder that I use, the bentonite clay, Epsom salt, and I'm also going to link my drainage pathway or my detox support course, or it has 2 frequencies, which is a part of my physical support course. And that has about 20 different frequencies to support the physical experience. And I just wanted to make this more accessible because I know some people may not want to invest, but the detoxification frequencies cater to magnetic healing points that cater to the whole lymphatic system and all of the drainage pathway components. And this is something that I use in every single cleanse. And it's actually something that I have found to be just as beneficial as binders, if not more. And it's also something that I do weekly to support my physical body, which has made my cleanses so much easier. And I'm really seeing benefits. I thrive, just thriving. Thinking back, and I'm just looking back at the journey I've been on this wellness journey since 2000. And it's so crazy to see the changes. And I really encourage you to invest in exploring this. And if what I'm sharing seems like a bit much, go find a product that will serve you. I'm a big advocate for listening to your body because we are the human community is widely diverse, and what works for me may not work for you, and it may not call to you, but I like sharing it so it can inspire you either to be like, yeah, this lights me up, I want to try it, or nah, but I like what she's talking about, and I'm going to go research and find something that does light me up. Whatever it is, I just want to inspire people to be their own self-healers because I think we all have the capacity to do that if we are given the knowledge and the know-how. So I hope that this shone a little light on how you can dive into a parasite cleanse, why 90 days is important, having a binder and a detox process to support you. And also I wanted to share my experience just so you don't have shame around it. I feel like when it comes to cleanses, people are like, if I don't do it 100%, well, I'm a failure. That's not the case. I gave myself that wide berth and got to where I wanted to be in that 90 days. And what I've learned from that experience is going slower is better. Always listen to your body. And when it comes to supplement, they're just a recommended amount. Again, listen to your body. Your body will tell you. And the beautiful thing about doing the parasite cleanse, since that time, I've been more interconnected with my body's communication with myself. And the beautiful thing is now I can really feel when I need to start gearing up for a cleanse or a detox. And again, they are all tied in with the traditional Chinese medicine seasonal cycle of the year, which I think is so cool. I just love how the deeper I get into this, the more I can find the connections between all the different styles of healing and between the energy systems and the physical system. I just love it. It's amazing. So I have all that stuff linked below for you. I hope you enjoyed this. Please share with someone if you enjoyed it. And I will be sharing more about energy healing, clearing energetic parasites, because I think that's very important, as well as clearing and detoxing the energetic systems of the body, which include the meridians, the chakras, and the auric field.